A very good afternoon to you and many thanks for joining us. You're watching News Updates coming to you live on Politics and Business Television Abuja. I am Omike Joseph Matthew. Gunmen ambush security forces in Kebbi State and kills officers and civilians. Several military and police officers as well as civilians were killed on Tuesday night following a deadly ambush by gunmen in Giro Masa community, Shanga local government area of Kebbi State. While the exact number of casualties among security personnel is yet to be confirmed, local sources reported that at least 2 community members lost their lives in the attack. Eyewitnesses said the assailants had been operating within the area before they were traced to a construction company yard. Acting on intelligence provided by residents, troops were deployed to the location but were ambushed by the gunmen on their way. During the assault, the attackers reportedly set 2 military gun trucks ablaze, escalating the scale of the violence. Shanga and other parts of Kebbi State have in recent years experienced intermittent attack by armed groups, often targeting both civilians and security forces. These attacks, frequently carried out along highways and in remote communities, are made more difficult to contain due to challenging terrain and limited access. Despite ongoing joint security operations, efforts to fully curb the violence continue to face significant obstacles. Former Attorney General of the Federation, Abubakar Malami's son, has accused the Economic and Financial Crimes Commission (EFCC) of forcefully evicting him and his family from their Abuja residence, despite ongoing court case over the property. Speaking at a press conference on Tuesday, Malami alleged that EFCC operatives initially stormed the residence on Monday and returned the following day with armed personnel to complete what he described as a forceful takeover. He identified the property as his family home located at number 2 Kuranak Close of Amazon Street, Maitama, Abuja. The former AGF explained that the development stemmed from an interim forfeiture order granted on January 6, 2026. However, he insisted that the order did not authorize his eviction or the immediate seizure of the property.
Well, the incident that happened yesterday was not isolated one because it was rather confounded by additional confounding events this morning. There was an attempt yesterday by the EFCC, which indeed was a co-litigant in respect of the pending criminal proceedings before Federal High Court against my person. Arriving from that criminal proceeding, there was an order dated 6th day of January 2026, an interim order for forfeiture that was granted. But the most interesting part of the order, there was no clear directives or instructions in the order that the premises will be taken over forthwith.
Malami further revealed that he had already challenged the forfeiture order at the Federal High Court, with the matter adjourned until April 20, 2026.
But the most interesting part of it is an application was filed at my instance for setting aside the order. And the court fixed a date against the 20th day of April 2026 for the hearing of an application filed at my instance challenging the propriety or otherwise of the order. Conventionally and traditionally, the act of securing the order by the EFCC and the act of varying issues on my part by way of filing an application seeking for the court order to set aside issues adjourned by the parties. So it is only natural, logical, legal and judicial that no party is expected to overreach or taking unilateral steps that will place a court and administration at helplessness.
He criticized the commission for allegedly sidestepping due process, stressing that the enforcement of court orders lies with judicial authorities, not party involved in the litigation. INEC Chairman Joash Amupetun reaffirms the Commission's commitment to credible polls, noting that new regulations have been developed in line with the Electoral Act 2026. The remarks was made at a high-level consultative meeting in Abuja. The INEC boss stressed that credible elections begin before polling day, with transparency in party primaries and campaign financing critical to the process.
Special note of clause 40, subparagraphs 4 and 5 of the draft regulation dealing with election expenses of political parties for the management of party primaries and for the conduct of elections. Therefore, the Commission has concluded a clause-by-clause realignment of our regulations and guidelines to ensure that they are not only legally aligned but operationally in sync with the new Act. It is our hope that these updated guidelines will foster a more transparent, fair, and equitable electoral landscape for all the stakeholders involved.
However, Chairman of the Inter-Party Advisory Council, Yusuf Dantile, warned that key provisions in the law could undermine electoral credibility if not urgently reviewed.
As a key stakeholder in the Nigeria democratic system, the Inter-Party Advisory Council, IPAC, is duly bound to draw both the national and international attention to evident shortcomings in the current electoral legal framework shortcomings that have the potential to impede, weaken, and destabilize our hard-earned democracy. Nigerians participated actively in the public hearing of the Constitutional Electoral Act amendments, with the expectations that their contributions would eliminate in a progressive, inclusive, and people-oriented Electoral Act. Unfortunately, the Electoral Act 2026 falls short of these expectations.
He described the act as a regression that falls short of public expectations. And still on politics, the People's Democratic Party governors, backed by Tanimu Turaki-san, led National Working Committee, confirmed that a fresh reconciliation process aimed at uniting aggrieved factions within the party commenced today. Turaki, who disclosed these while addressing newsmen in Abuja on Wednesday, said that from last night and this morning, the reconciliation is yielding some results. Turaki cautioned supporters to act with restraint to avoid undermining the ongoing reconciliation efforts. And that's all we have for you at this time. I am Omike Joseph Matthew. Thank you for watching. Have a wonderful day and bye for now.